wasn't going to do an intro for this one. However, I was also going to release this one the day after we recorded, which was 3 days ago now. I've only released 2 podcasts this month, and I don't know whether that's me or whether it's the times. I've certainly had some interesting experiences over the last month, and I think the stuff at Gympie and the stuff at the Stonehenge really did take the wind out of my sails a little bit. Some of that was my fault, some of it definitely wasn't. So I think the lack of episodes coming out is me really trying to keep my mouth shut. What my lovely wife has decided is that she's going to interview me. I've been trying to get her on the podcast for the last 116 episodes. However, she's going to interview me so I can articulate what I want to say without being offensive-ish, because I'm going to be offensive, I'm sorry. It is interesting times. You know, technically we're inside a month before the aliens come on December 21, and I'm really not sure what to say about that apart from what I've already said. What I will say is this podcast is a very, very raw conversation. And experiences like these is the reason I started this. You know, you try and capture lightning in a bottle. You have an awesome conversation without the mics and you try and translate it to get onto the mics. And that's this. There's no stone unturned on this one. We talk about YouTube, we talk about passion projects, we talk about toilet paper crisis. I don't know. It went for an hour and a half and it was a lot of rambling. However, it was an excellent conversation over many, many broad topics relating to the current day that we live in. However, the reason for this episode is what you're about to hear is version 2 of the intro for Unlocking the Code. And I'm not going to spoil it by telling you what it is and how it sounds. It's pretty much the same, just turned up to a fucking 11. And if you had told me 3.5 years ago that this would be the intro to my podcast, man, how fucking awesome. Craig Johnston Music on Facebook. Give him a follow, give him a like. He's got his new stuff coming out soon. I look forward to having him in the studio to explore that. COVID's obviously COVID's been good for him because he got to spend some extra time in the studio. However, it's put the brakes on a few of the projects that me and Craig wanted to do. However, hopefully, in the near future, we can continue down that line. As I say, guys, those that are loyal listeners, I really appreciate it, and I'm sure you can hear me trying not to say stuff. However, I will sit down with Kath in the very near future and get it all out. Thanks very much, guys. Look after yourselves. Stay safe. Be cool. And we'll talk soon. Cheers. How fucking awesome
that is sick, dude.
So we're just saying that is Craig Johnston Music. He's a good mate of mine. He did the first intro. However, earlier today, he says to me, he messaged me and said, "What's your email?" I'm putting together version 2 of the intro. And holy fuck. Like, that is cool. Like, this is not planned. We did not plan to sit down tonight.
That's face melting, man.
Yeah.
That's shreds.
Shreds.
And I want to talk to Craig and work out his post-production techniques, what he's like, whether he's panning hard left and hard right, because there's definitely, with the headphones on, there's definitely stereo effects in there. There's different layers.
Mm-hmm. But what are you going to understand?
I want to know what brand guitar he used, what pickups.
I know that. Gibson Les Paul, man.
That's a Les Paul?
SG, yeah.
With PAFs. You don't know what PAFs
I don't
are.
fucking know what that means, mate.
Craig knows what PAFs are. Like, what pickups has he got in it?
Yeah.
In his Les Paul? Is it like a fucking 64 reissue or, something like that? Or
you're speaking Greek at the moment, mate.
Yeah, I know, mate, I know. But it's just my world I'm in at the moment.
I know, which is fucking pretty cool. We will get onto that. However, yeah, this is completely unplanned. Jono sends it to me. I send it to you and I go, hey, we can't let that fester in the darkness, man. We got to do something tonight. It
has to be brought out to the world.
Yeah,
because that is fucking sick.
It's so fucking awesome, man. And to think, I've known Jono for a long time. We went to high school together in Nullarbor in the NT, and man, just a face melter. And like that pause, man, that's just like it sucks you in, and wow, like and he plays every instrument too. You got to understand that about Craig.
Yes.
He that's everything you hear in that 45 seconds. He, apart from probably the sound effects at the end, that's all him.
Yeah.
The drums, the keyboard.
But in saying that, it's even if he's not playing, he's putting it together, piecing it together. Post-production,
yeah,
sort
absolutely,
of thing.
yeah,
and getting it all to fit in together. So that in itself is an art form.
Oh, he's got an insane setup. We're actually having a conversation about it today. Actually, we might start with that because you're into your passion as well, and yours is similar to Craig's. I think, as you know, you've been a part of my passion project, which is what we are now. And we were sort of talking about that, like, me and John would be getting drunk as 16-year-olds, and he'd be playing some dodgy acoustic right-handed guitar upside down because he's a lefty.
Oh, right.
And playing it perfectly too.
Yeah, that's just fucking weird. That's another that's another dimension.
Yeah, he's in another level, man.
Yeah.
Well, I think I told the story. I don't know whether I know I've told you. I don't know if I've said it on the mic that when we were like 16 or something, I went round to Jono's house and he had his drum kit set up in front of the old 3-disc CD changer from back in the day. And he's just rocking out on the drums, man, just going fucking nuts. And I just sat down and just tuned in,
Yeah.
And after 3 or 4 songs, he pulls up, and I said, "Mate, how long you been rehearsing those for?" He goes, "Oh, no, I didn't. I just put it on fucking random." I'm like, "Fuck you, man." But yeah, he's been following his passion. This is our passion, and you're following your passion, sir.
Well, I'm finally delving into my passion after many years. Yes, I've what do I say? Yeah, I'm training to be a Sunday session acoustic vocalist sort of thing. Is what I'm practicing at being. I've recruited the help of a vocal and guitar teacher, sort of thing, who's been gigging for 14 years or so. So he's got a fair bit of industry knowledge. And equipment, techniques. We're working. Basically, I started with him a little while ago, and he said, "Well, what do you want to do?" I said, "I want to gig like a Sunday session at a pub. That's what I want to do." He's like, "Will you work with me? I'll get you there," sort of thing. So we're slowly trying to iron out all of my bad habits to start with.
The ones you can at this later
exactly.
stage.
We're trying to identify my strengths and my weaknesses, and strengthen my weaknesses, sort of thing, and then move on from there. But yeah, we've sort of formulated a bit of a plan over the next year or so, and hopefully we'll bang something out in the future. Yeah,
man. Well, I look forward to the day when you bring the old G fiddle in and lay down a track for us, man.
Yeah, man. We'll get fucking copyrighted and demonetized and shit like that. We'll bang it out.
What
on
else
here.
Is new, man?
It
doesn't matter.
We'll bang it out on the podcast, man.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We already do anyway. Like I don't remember the last YouTube audio file video I put up that didn't get fucking demonetized.
Yeah,
I've only got like 50 subscribers. It's not like have the 3 cents. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's it, man. Yeah. Yeah,
and I think that was one of our original ideas, wasn't it? We were going to get banned from YouTube from the start. So
yeah, exactly.
So we did.
Oh. Look, mate, maybe they'll start to. There's a lot of YouTubers in the music world that are pushing back against these older states of these established bands like Zeppelin, like Pink Floyd. Basically, the older guys that don't kind of understand where we're at now, and they're putting out content where they're using their stuff, but they're using it to bring light to it. Like, I don't know if you're across the what was that guy's name? The video that everyone's copied at the moment. It's the Mexican dude on the fucking skateboard with Fleetwood Mac.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Well, Fleetwood Mac fucking spiked like 45 million fucking views in a month because of him doing that.
Yeah.
And this is what these other YouTube guys are trying to say. They're like, "Hey, your shit has been out for 50, 60 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's died off in its popularity. What I can do is bring attention back to your material that's already out there to the newer generation.
Yeah.
But if you just keep
everything.
blocking my stuff because I put up 10 seconds of a clip of you playing,
Yeah.
then you're just going to peter out. You know, you're just going to die out. It's like,
I mean, there should be like a percentage thing to work out there. You know what I mean? Like there should be.
well, a lot of the guys, no, but what it is, all right, there's a difference between the monetization and the copyright strikes. So what happens is all of that, and this is what these guys are saying. They're like, we're quite happy to lose. Like, I get no money if I use your material.
Yeah.
All the money from that, all the advertising revenue goes to that estate.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these things, some of the guys aren't even fucking alive
No,
anymore.
yeah, a lot of these
so
older
it's
stuff, yeah,
not
they're
even
not
going
even
to
there.
the artist. It's
Yeah.
going to the estate of the artist.
Yeah, the family.
Whoever owns it. Whether it's a record label, whether it's families, etc.
True, yeah, right.
They get the money. But the problem is, a lot of the time, it gets copyright blocked. So the video just gets blocked. It's not even there to then make them any money.
Oh, because it's... Well, I think YouTube would say, you know, they don't want to fight the legal battle.
It's not fair use,
right?
Is what they argue. And then it just gets blocked altogether.
If it's like obscure Zeppelin songs or Pink Floyd songs or even obscure Beatles, like if it's obscure music from those people, you know, because if the music industry, you know, those albums would be you playing 2 or 3 hits and the rest were filler tracks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like
the thing is, it's not. A lot of it's not their obscure stuff. A lot of it is their popular stuff.
Yeah, their hits.
But the fact of the matter is, their popular stuff was popular
in 1972. Yeah,
like, oh, fuck, I'm 36. It's kind of. I remember it because my parents listened to
it.
it.
Yeah. We had records of it in the lounge room.
But my offsider at work, he was born in 1998.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
He doesn't even know.
Yeah.
He doesn't know who Metallica is.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
they'd peak by then, yeah.
Let alone who Zeppelin is.
Or, Motorhead or any of those sort of guys, yeah.
Yeah, you bring up some of this stuff and they're like, oh, who's that? And you're like, oh, my God. And that's what these dudes are trying to do. They're trying to keep this stuff alive by keeping it in the rotation.
Yeah.
But they're getting blocked by the estates of these businesses. And it's like...
Yeah, right. So these guys are saying they don't actually care if the revenue goes to...
They do other episodes where they get their own...
They make their money in other ways.
That's it. They might have 3 different streams. Or what would you call it?
Not channels, but...
Not channels, but on the one channel, they'll do 3 different types of episodes.
Yeah.
This one type of episode they do, where they might highlight songs from the past... They're quite happy to lose the revenue off that stream. They're just trying to educate, is all it is. Yes. And that's the argument. They're like, I'm just trying to educate. I'm not going to fight you for the ad revenue, but just stop copyright blocking me.
Yeah. Well, that sounds fair enough. Well, I think it sort of lends, the very, very loose topic that because I was like, okay, we've got to do something. It was either pull an article out or we riff like we're doing now and then have a loose topic. But yeah, I think it sort of lends us like that level of control to a private entity is a concern as far as freedom of speech and stuff like that is concerned. Like it's the same with the Facebook, it's the same with, you know what I mean? Like that is actually, these platforms are manipulating the entirety of society. Like that's the reality behind it.
Yeah.
But they're not beholden. They're beholden to themselves, not to anything else.
I feel like we may pushing through. Maybe not right now, but hopefully in the next few years it'll come to light, and things might change a little bit.
Yeah.
In terms of legislation that already exists, whether or not they then come under it, because I think. Now we're going to go into like real facts. There's something about in I'm going to butcher it, but there's something like Bill 230 something.
Yeah.
And it's got to do with like Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that controlling information. So up until now, they've been arguing that they're just a platform for disseminating information, not a publisher. Publishers are beholden to this 230E or whatever it is. I can't remember it.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. Look it up. Google that shit. They're tracking you anyway. Just do it.
So, but what we're looking at is maybe the way in which they're acting now, in the way in which they're cancelling people, and really steering the narrative.
Oh, Patreon shut us down.
That maybe. Oh, really? That maybe they will. They will more clearly fall under that section, so then they'll have to live up to that section. You know, something along those lines. So, like I said, we're just brushing on stuff that I haven't looked up for a while. No. But it's something in the back of my subconscious.
Yeah. Look, you know, it's a larger topic how the music industry has changed in our lifetimes. Like, it was fully tapes and CDs and stuff when we were kids, and that's where the revenue would come from, where a lot of it, you know, MP3 did see the fall of an industry, to quote the Hilltop Hoods, you know what I mean? Like, they really did.
I LimeWired a heap of shit. Like, you know, when you were 17, man, and it's like, I just want free music. You don't think about the repercussions of your actions.
Well, we used to do hard drive swaps out on the rig.
Yep.
Like, everyone would bring their hard drive. What have you got? What have I got? And fucking just hook them all up and transfer
music
it all
industry, then into the film industry, you know, and it went into torrenting stuff, man. Fuck, I lived on a hard drive for, I don't know, 6-7 years, man. That it was all about.
What was that little
just
Views? Was it Views?
Oh man, there was multiples. Yeah. I used to use torrent.
Torrent
keep
Z,
skipping. And you had to work out. You'd go to Pirate Bay. You'd be like dodging all the fucking scams. Oh man, it was amazing. It was amazing in the way that when you it was amazing in the same way that if you think back pre-mobile phones, when you could save everyone's number, to how many numbers you could remember, how many of your mates' home numbers you could remember,
heaps. Yeah.
Well, the way in which I could remember how to navigate without picking up fucking viruses through the torrent fucking world, you know, before VPNs existed, and you could navigate through that without completely corrupting your computer, and then come out the other side with a watchable file. So it's like, it was amazing the steps you could remember when you really wanted something. And I mean, hats off to Australia. We led the way in downloading illegal downloads in Game of Thrones for like fucking 5 seasons straight. We were up there. We were number one, man. And we really led the way in that one.
Well, you know, it is in our nature, you know.
Yeah.
It is,
and then they just got apparent. Like, I've been out of that world for quite a while now, but I still run into people that are still torrenting.
I've heard of it. I'm like,
how the fuck? Towards the end, it just got so dodgy.
Yeah, and you were going to get busted. Like, a heap of people did get busted.
I got multiple emails from like NBC and stuff like that, like big fucking conglomerates in the States, emails to my IP address being like, we will fucking sue you if you continue to download this. And, you know, after the third or fourth email, you start to get the fucking bit of the fried up you. So you're like, maybe I'd better just use a streaming platform instead, you know. Like,
and that's probably,
and the thing is, the streaming platforms started to become more prevalent. They started to get better material, and it was cheap, you know, because the main reason Australia led the way is because we were under a monopoly of Foxtel for fucking so long.
And it was so expensive, man.
So expensive. And they
like, everybody's had a go at using Foxtel.
They knew the channels you wanted, and they were not in any of the packages. You had to buy extras.
Exactly,
all that bullshit.
We've all done Foxtel once or twice, and every time you stop doing it is because it gets prohibitively expensive.
I can't afford this anymore just for TV.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, of course we did. So someone said, if you go on your computer and just click a few buttons, you can download some stuff.
Yeah.
Of course we did that.
Fucking oath.
You know? Which sort of led, you know, but that, and see that, you know, a lot of the younger people today didn't grow up, didn't see that change, you know, like it's a trippy thing to observe, and obviously leads to what we're doing now, free podcasts, and you know what I mean? Like, I just chuck this out there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting though, man. It's interesting. I think, it's fascinating though, because like I said, who makes the fucking rules, you know, like, and how much control do the fucking governments really have anyway? You know what I mean? Like, aren't they just the puppets for these fucking corporations anyway? You know, like it's like you can put through Bill 230E or whatever it is. I tell you what, one of the stark memories I have of early COVID, right?
Yeah.
Is I watched Question Time because I wanted to see what the politicians were doing.
Yeah.
Right. And they brought out the bill to give us all $900 or whatever it was. You know what I mean? And the paperwork, this fucking lady, man, she was 60 in the shade, some old, bookworm from the back of the Parliament House.
Yep.
And the paperwork was like fucking 3 foot. She was struggling, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hang on a fucking minute. Why do we need 15,000 bits of paper to pass this?
Yep.
What else is fucking in there?
Oh man, that's the.
What else is fucking in that shit? You know what I mean? I was just like, holy crap. Yeah, this poor old lady, man, she barely made it to the fucking table. That's how heavy it was.
Yeah.
But I was just like, fuck, man, I'll never forget that because it's like, hang on a minute. Each page is what, 800 words, 1,000 words, maybe, depending on the font size. It's like
depending on double spacing or whatever. But
like fucking.
But it makes no difference. It could be 500 fucking words per page if you've got 3 foot high a fucking stack of sheets.
Exactly. Yeah, it's 3 foot high of A4 paper, mate.
Who's going through that? Who's perusing all?
Well, how
of
many
that?
to one of them boxes? Is that like fucking 15?
That's 1,000 sheets. To a box.
Yeah, it would have been more than 1,000.
And you think a box
is
of
all
paper
cardboard and all that sort of stuff.
but it's only 4 inches high for 1,000 fucking sheets.
Yeah.
If you're talking 3 feet, that's a lot of pages. That's a fucking lot of pages.
And how was that? How was that actually? Anyway, well, fuck, man, we haven't actually we haven't really fucking unpacked COVID much, have we? Like, one-on-one?
No, we haven't gone down the. Oh, I did that the wrong way round.
Oh well, that's okay.
I was wondering why though. I was like, wow,
that was it.
I questioned it in my mind, but at the same time I was like, it's just how it is. I'm just on a roll.
But yeah. So what are your thoughts, mate? I mean, I know it's not what we said we're going to talk about, but we may as well. We've sort of steered onto it. So looking back, do you think it did come out at like a China, the lab in Wuhan, or was it some fucking dude shagged a bat or whatever the fuck it was?
What do I say? I guess probably the most honest response I could give is I've probably given up on trying to wade through the bullshit.
It's a bit like that.
It's
a bit like that.
I kind of know that
it's too much, man.
It's too much. Every time you try and, bring up it's so hard to get some real facts. Like, what's the mortality rate? Who's it really affecting?
Yeah.
I still to this day, I keep asking, and I know it's not a great test because, Queensland, in terms of Australia, has kind of been lucky in terms of, I guess, we've got a lower population density than maybe the New South Wales and Victoria.
That's true. Who've
had a harder time with COVID and the stringent sort of lockdowns that the government's enforced. So we had the early lockdown, the work from home and everything, and then it's kind of been on the slow relax for Queensland. So I keep, what I'm getting at is I
don't know anyone who knows
everyone. I keep asking, I'm like, do you know anyone who's had it? I just want some first hand, what was their experience like with the disease? And no one I've spoken to as yet
how can we
knows
call it a
anyone.
disease now? Isn't it a virus?
Well, it's the same thing. A virus can be a disease because you catch it, sort of thing. A disease is just a very broad term.
Yeah.
Exactly, like a virus is specific.
Yeah.
You can have a
Like
viral infection, or you can have a bacterial infection. So that's just more a specific term. A disease can be anything that just ails you. Yeah.
But bottom line, neither of us know anyone who knows anyone who knows anyone.
I don't know anyone who knows anyone who's had it. because all I was looking for was some first-hand feedback on
just
what's it feel like, you know. And I've had a few tests, because there's been a few times, you know, where you're like, oh well, I feel like I'm, you know, I've got something throaty or chesty or whatever, but so far my tests have all come back negative.
So they do the one where they touch your brain, or
touch your brain, yeah.
is it great?
It's the fucking worst experience in the world. I'll tell you what's worse than getting it yourself is having to watch your fucking 2-year-old get it done.
Oh, fuck.
And I mean, the lady at the pathology lab, she was pretty good, you know, in terms of
what she had to do.
Exactly. She had supple hands. She knew what she was doing.
Not her first time.
It wasn't her first rodeo. Yeah. You know, she got what she needed to, and yeah, the boys gave the boys some lollipops, sort of thing.
Yeah.
They calmed down.
Yeah, of course.
A bit after that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was probably harder, is to watch your young kids get tested than actually get tested yourself. But fuck, I'll tell you what, my wife's a trooper. She's been tested more than anyone I know, because she's a teacher. She's been like, whenever they'd have mini outbreaks,
they'd have to go and get tested.
They'd have like people associated with her school and stuff like that they'd test positive, and then they would all have to go get tested again, sort of thing. So yeah, she's had like fucking 5 or 6 tests. She's had multiple. Never came back positive though.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, so look, we're all just a bit worn down by it, really.
Yeah,
like because we all tried to do the right thing to begin with, because we didn't know what this. We were all
exactly
just worried that the mortality rate, maybe it was going to be a fucking humdinger.
Yeah,
we didn't know.
Like if it was 15-20%, that'd be some serious fucking.
But
shit.
Now that it's grinding on, and you know, fuck, you know, it was in my old man's hometown, and he's got pretty bad emphysema, and he didn't contract it. You know what I mean? Like I thought he would go at the start when this all went down.
He was in the primary.
He's
risk
in
category.
The highest of the highest risk categories.
Yeah,
he can't breathe as it is.
Yeah.
Let alone throw a virus that affects the respiratory tract in there. Yeah. So
I think you're right though. We are a bit worn out. Like I have been asked to weigh in on a couple of different things, and it's hard to wade through the bullshit.
Yeah.
Right, and I think it's. And like anything, what did we say? What have we said from the beginning? What if 1% is true?
Yeah.
Of whatever. You know what I mean? I think, you know, one of the thoughts I've had recently, it's like, oh, why, you know, why did the Chinese do it? They lost money. Actually, they didn't really. Most of the rich got richer through this last 12 months. That's the reality. And I think if there is a larger game at work, it's a long game. It's not a short game.
No.
You know, they wanted to test us to see what we would do.
Yeah.
And how much we would give up, maybe. You know what I mean? This is a line of thinking. If you were to go down that line of thinking. And I'm not ascribing to anything, right? It is smelled. It is fucking stunk to high heaven from the start. That is the one thing that I will say.
Yeah.
Nothing's really made sense about it. We're just not talking about the suicide rates, the lack of small businesses closing. We're just not talking about the herd of fucking elephants that's in the room. You know, like that's, you know, and I think the thing is that, you know, what I love about us is like, we'll just get through to the end of the year. Like January 1st, 2021 is going to be the end of it.
Yeah, it's all going to... No. And this is what I fear next. You know, I'm looking beyond. I feel like they've run their course with the virus and what they can impose upon us, and they've kind of got a good benchmark. You know, good data feedback of where the psychology of humans lay, sort of thing. They've worked that out now. The next test is going to be this fucking Pfizer jab.
Absolutely.
You know, that's the next one I'm worried about. Yeah. Because what rules are they going to stipulate upon us? You're like, we're already hearing the early news of, like, and I guess at this early stage, you could call them conspiracy theories of the fact that like they have camps, like lockdown camps, starting to be organised. So if you won't have the jab, you have to go there. You have to go and isolate.
Right. Well, yeah,
Apparently,
right.
early news is
that's early high conspiracy. That's some dude in tinfoil going. Meh.
yeah. Well, and it's coming out of New Zealand.
Really?
They're going, yeah,
Okay,
man. They're
Kiwis.
pointing fingers at New Zealand as the fact that they're setting up. I can't remember what they call it, but it's basically like non-conformance camps sort of thing. If you're
Well,
not,
let's face it. If you were going to do a test, you'd probably choose like from a population
Very
density,
small population.
isolated, da.
yeah,
I don't think they better build big camps. I'd say a fair percentage of the Kiwis are going to tell them to fuck off. As I would say, a probably bigger percentage than the government thinks here. We're going to tell them to fuck off too.
Mm. Well, they would have got a little bit of that feedback of who would tell them to fuck off when they tried to bring in the that's app.
The app, yes. Yeah.
Because I only know one person who downloaded that app, sort of thing. I definitely didn't. I was just like, no, fuck no. And they had to come up with a different plan on how to trace people. You know, in terms of and what they did was instead of putting it onto the individual, they put it onto the people who had something to lose.
Absolutely.
The small businesses.
The small businesses.
Of course, they're going to fall into line because they're like
tap on this little fucking QR code.
Yeah. Because the small businesses, all they want to do is fucking reopen. They just want to try and make some money because while they're not making money, their overheads are fucking ticking over and it's costing them. So they're like, look, we'll take it up the arse. Just let us open, sort of thing. So yeah, they're forcing the hand of the small business owner.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, you know,
to do their dirty work, to trace us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I mean, it lends to the larger fucking conspiracy, man.
I put down so many people that I hate. Like whenever, because I don't know if you know, you can either QR code on your phone, which I was like, no. They gave me the option to do it the old hard copy way.
Write your name.
It's like, that's easy because there's no IP address or anything associated with that. And I'll just write down fucking this dude that I don't like and his fucking a pretend 123 fake street. And, I'm like, yep, and at the end of the day, the small business owner's done his part. I've done my fake part and the government gets nothing.
Yeah. Well, I spoke to a couple of them and they're like, because I was filling the format and I asked them, like, what do you do with these? Has anyone even looked at them or done anything with these? And they're like, no. You know, so like they weren't actually fucking doing anything anyway.
It would purely be, there would be a, what would it be? They would be required to like hold on to those for a period of time.
Could be like a 7-year document thing.
In case there is a breakout, that's when they'll come for them. That's when they'll come look for it.
Yeah.
If there was
Where's your traceability?
Let's say someone in our town tested positive and they said, we went to this cafe. Boom, they're going straight to that cafe. And they're getting all their records and then they'll contact all of those people and be like, you now need to fucking isolate because you've been in that same cafe within an hour of that person being there. Yeah. But anyway, what else is coming up this year, mate? Because that's why we got together and we've just gone off on a tangent in classic fucking Uncle Toby's fashion.
Yeah, well, mate, it doesn't really matter. Like, I think it's a good, pure conversation. I think there's some good stuff there. Well, December 21's coming up, mate. The Great Conjunction, the winter solstice, and so basically, remember the aliens are coming. That's
the aliens are coming to Uluru.
To Uluru. That's you can buy a package deal, mate. You go on Facebook, you can buy a package deal.
You can you get accommodation.
Yeah,
on the
sign,
spaceship.
Big fluoro green sign. Independence Day style.
Yeah, Independence Day style. They're opening up. Take me. Die.
Oh, look, we are taking the piss out of it. However, it's a little bit.
Well, the dots are lining up, aren't they?
But the thing is that there is some dots. This is take all you got to be on a certain vibration and whatever it is. There are dots that line up. There are, the conjunction, the Saturn and Jupiter. Well, we go there now and we can see Mars, Saturn and Jupiter in the sky.
It's a nice clear night tonight, unlike last night.
Unlike last night when we were playing with the telescope lenses.
Yeah.
But it's still early, we'll see, man. So, to our other studies, these megalithic societies, they line everything up to winter solstice, summer solstice, and they focus on the planets and the directions and all that sort of stuff, right? And, we've said before, Saturn and Jupiter are going to be the closest they've been since 1602. And I think if the aliens are coming, and it's quite interesting that, periodically through this year, the Pentagon's releasing more and more documents and more evidence is coming out of UFOs.
Yeah.
It's
just funny how this. Oh, was it this year or was it last year? Was it 2019 when?
What's that?
Well, when the new style of Alien doco came out, where it was more so delving into like government documents.
It was like, that was Jeremy Corbell. So last
Jeremy
year.
Corbell, the Stephen Greer, all of that kind of stuff, where the classic style of the UFO documentary has sort of changed now.
Yeah,
and it's changed to whistleblowers, leaked memos, more so pointing proof at the fact that institutions have known about these things for a long time, and haven't been passing on the information, but also pointing out some of the reason why the information doesn't get passed on is because there's gatekeepers and people you think are in positions of power, like the President of the United States, has actually been kicked out of that process for a long time.
That's just a puppet position anyway. It changes every...
That's right, 4 or 8 years. Yeah. It's got a max min of 4 to 8.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
That's all it is, yeah. And what sort of spurred some of the stuff we did want to talk about was... I've been listening to the Serpent Brothers, right? You got to get on them, man. They're cool. They're actually brothers, and they talk about.
I have listened to some of their stuff.
Yeah. They're kindred spirits, man.
Yeah, you.
I think I pointed you to a few.
You pointed me
things.
to it a little while back, and I did start listening to some of their stuff.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
Yeah, so this guy's come on. I can't remember his name, but it's the UFOs, and he's done 3 in-depth podcasts. And this guy's a bit like us. He's just synthesizing data. He's not tying himself to one idea or the next, but he's looking at the records that have been put down, and some of the stuff he was talking about, it did peak during the World Wars, like in World War II.
Yeah.
And there was some of the stuff he was talking about. It's like whoever it is, the Allies and the Nazis. The Allies would start shooting at it, thinking it was the Nazis, and then the Nazis would start they were both shooting at the same fucking thing.
Yes.
Like it wasn't anything else,
Yeah, and it was World War II where they call them Foo Fighters, wasn't
Fighters,
it? Yeah.
So
no, there was, and I don't know if it just so happens that we were recording more stuff. But it seems to rise at the point where we let off the nuclear bomb.
Yeah, well, I think if you take into account how much the weaponry of the planet advanced in those 10 years, sort of 1936 to 1945, like that's a lot. Even
if you wanted to, 36 to 45, but even if you wanted to go back to World War One, that was the first true, large-scale mechanized
war,
sort of thing. So prior to that, like World War One, I'm pretty sure the French still rode in on horseback with
World War One,
red jackets and
blue
swords and shit.
Blue fucking pants, man.
And then they got machine gunned down, and shit started to change real fast. So maybe this style of warfare is outdated.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine seeing some dude in a bright red jacket and blue pants? Like, you may as well just paint a big target on your back. You know what
100%. I can see. I can
and a pointy helmet, like a helmet that had this big fucking stupid point on it,
and feathers and all the sorts of regalia.
Yeah, but the advancement of war in that period. But there is some in World War One as well. They saw weird shit in the sky.
Yep.
This stuff's been going on. If you look at
you think about, we talk about the explosion from the atomic bombs, right? And yes, that's one massive explosion, and it would send out shockwaves. But when you listen to like Dan Carlin talk about the fact that like the artillery went for so long in World War One that the gunners actually worked out patterns of fire.
Yeah, it was raining, but it was stepped in front of each other.
It was stepped, but it was also rhythmic.
Yeah.
So they worked out just through trial and error patterns of fire that affected the psyche of the opposition more, like that boom, 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 boom. Like there was a certain rhythm
it's like it's
to
coming
the guns that like had this.
So they're using the tribal drums.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was almost like tribal guns in artillery. So even if you didn't get hit by the artillery, it was just the psychological drain of just an onslaught of hours upon end of just artillery. Yeah.
It's insane. Well, he's done the Asia Pacific lately as well, and then these things were seen over the Asia Pacific, right?
Yeah.
And he was talking about the seas of bodies and stuff, and that's like it goes to the things that we've had hidden from us. You know what I mean? Like it's interesting. Like we don't actually understand what was going on. However, these Foo Fighters, UFOs, balls of light in the sky, blah blah blah. There's recorded history of these things, this happening for fucking thousands of years, man. You know, like it's not actually that uncommon.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
well, and this kind of gets back to what I was saying before about have the instances increased, or did our technology just get to the level where we started to spot them more?
Yeah.
Because just like we've spoken before about the lack of evidence when it comes to like fossil evidence, right? Things they're finding
a little finger
are
bone
a tooth or a finger bone and stuff like that. The fossil record is very thin, as well as the cave art record, or the ancient history human record of interactions with beings. You know, there's the Aboriginal cave art.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's engravings and stuff like that in Europe and stuff like
across Asia and all that sort of stuff.
And we're like, yeah, okay, there's theories about there being contact. But what was created and lost, just like the fossil record,
absolutely.
in that other written drawing, carving, stone relief, however they're recording it, picked some kind of picture, how many of those pictures were lost? Was there just as prevalent? And then you go into written language, and how much is lost in translation?
Absolutely.
You've got the whole
Book
of Enoch sort of
but how much
train of thought.
And the other thing is how much that we don't look at. Like we've got something like fucking 5,000 clay tablets from Sumeria that no one looks at them. You know what I mean? And I've studied a few on the podcast.
Yeah.
One rewrites trigonometry. You know what I mean? The other one is a star disk that records an asteroid impact. Like there's these things. We don't look at a lot of the evidence we got. It's in fucking boxes in the London Museum or fucking wherever.
Yeah. And well, the thing is, these things are so obscure that you have to.
Well, they're oops art, man. They don't make sense.
And that's right. So you got to try and get these people who can translate it, sort of thing. But then, if you translate it in a way that doesn't agree with the paradigm, you then get fucking shouted down like was it Sitchin? Who did the Sumerian tablets?
That was Nibiru and all that stuff.
Yeah. So the way in which he's translated the tablets doesn't go with the sort of
doesn't
paradigm. So he just gets portrayed as crazy sort of thing.
But these, I think the point is there's been weird shit in the sky for a fucking long time.
Definitely, I would agree.
However, I think what this guy on the Serpent Brothers podcast is getting to, I think what he's getting to is the fact that potentially it's us.
Yep.
Like maybe it's us from 13,000 years ago.
Yep.
Because we talk about the Sumerians, we've said this a number of times on the podcast. They knew the cataclysm was that bad, they fled the planet.
Well, what if their civilization and advancement was to a point where let's, for a modern day term, the richest of them were able to escape into spacecraft to escape the oncoming cataclysm.
Mm.
Those who were left were either those that were of a higher status but refused out of principle or moral, or just the peasants who couldn't afford it.
Whoever was
like,
left,
look at our society now and to the way in which we've organised. If shit was to go down and we were like, you know, the Neil deGrasse Tyson fucking, there's a comet coming in 10 years. I'm pretty sure in 10 years, billionaires are going to fucking really put a lot of effort into space.
Yeah.
And they're going to have a plan, you know, they'll put X amount of money forward in, like, you know, the getting ready to try and save the planet, but there's a plan B in there as well. And they'll all be fucking leaving the planet.
Absolutely.
What if
because they can only make
what if
so
they're
many beds.
observing?
Yeah.
What if they're observing? What if we've been here for a longer point of time and we reached a higher advancement than what we know.
And look, I think, you know, one of the things he sort of said is like, what if it's us? So it's like, if this has been going on for so long and every single government that you look into has evidence of this stuff going on, right? Why would they all agree to not fucking say anything about it? You know?
Yeah. And is it because, well, there's the obvious one. The line that we've always been fed is that it would create too much panic amongst the population.
Chaos, yeah.
But why? But let's look at, I think the more interesting part is, why would people think it would create chaos? And what would lead to the full destruction of civilization? So it would, if you just wanted to go on the pure fear-based reaction, by all means. But if you start to think there's a higher, more intelligent
than the one that controls us.
The one that controls us. Exactly. We're going to stop listening to those ones and go, oh, well, you guys are smarter. We'll listen to you instead of this guy. And that's what our current control regime doesn't want.
Yeah.
So whether they know or don't know who or what these things are,
it's all control.
It's all control.
Or maybe they live underground or something like that, and they are the advanced race. They are the secret society that we rally against.
Yeah, well, they could be the secret society, just like our local.
Live under the ocean, mate. We don't know what's under the ocean, man.
There's
we know
so much
less
that's
about under our
unexplored.
ocean compared to our near Earth space. We don't know fucking anything. Like, it's a big, deep patch of water.
Big, deep, and there's not a lot of money to be made in salt water.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
There's not a lot of point going down there.
Yeah. Oh, we are. Well, we do suck the fish out of it, and that's actually an ecological disaster that no one talks about either. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the fact that they're finding saltwater sharks fucking in freshwater rivers up north is not concerning at all, because, you know.
Yeah.
It's a saltwater crocodile. It's been here for 70 million years. It doesn't give a fuck what you think. It'll swim into fresh water if it fucking has to. You know?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
They'll go wherever they got to. Adapt and overcome.
Yeah. You know. So, yeah, fuck, man. It's interesting. Megalithically and symbolically, as far as planets and stuff, there is something interesting about this solstice. And would it have been something that for want of a better term, the shamans, the priests, whichever way you want to do it, the magi, the druids, whatever you want to say, they would have marked this solstice. This would be something they would be looking for. It's rare for the great conjunction to fall on a solstice. So the fact that Saturn and Jupiter are so close in the sky would mark something for them.
Well, that's like you say, that's a measurable period in time, because they can measure how close they get. Yeah. And then once they start getting further away, that was the point in time. That's how you mark it. It's like the 12 mark on a clock.
Yeah, and don't forget that most of these megalithic cultures, despite their rock ape nature, measured the precession of the equinox. Which is 1 degree every 72 years or whatever it is.
Yeah. Pretty precise.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have some fairly precisely aligned megaliths to be able to measure that kind of thing.
Yeah, and they would know that this solstice was coming. So, And then there's the Palladian stuff that really got traction with Bruce Fenton this year, which explained a fair bit. You know what I mean? Like we had a bit of a discussion about that. It makes sense.
Yeah,
it's actually got a like
there's some good meat to the story.
Yeah,
100%.
There's some very compelling actual evidence as well. Which basically says that we are students, children of the Pleiades or whoever. That original origin story is the three brothers chased the seven sisters across the stars. That actually happened.
Yep.
And they waged a battle over the life that was here on Earth. I would say the hominid breeds.
Yep.
Because that's really the only unique thing that's to this planet.
The hominines.
The hominines.
They've changed it.
Oh, have they?
I heard. Like, how we
is that like another gender fucking pronoun or something?
Yes.
Are you joking?
That's exactly what it is.
Is it? You serious?
No.
Oh.
They just.
I wouldn't fucking since 2020, man. I got to clarify that shit.
100%, man. Got to work out what your prefixes are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which 72 fucking whatever.
But no. What were we saying?
Hominines.
Hominines, yeah, because they changed it a year or two ago, a little while ago.
Is that like a...
They slightly changed the definition of hominid.
Okay.
Yeah, so they sort of changed the word we use to describe the lineage of humans.
Yep.
Are hominines now.
Okay.
So you've got the other branches of apes and shit like that.
Yeah. But like Denisova, Neanderthal.
Yeah, so like Gigantopithecus.
Gigantopithecus
doesn't necessarily. It's not necessarily a hominin.
Okay.
Because it's not conclusive, as far as I'm aware, that it's part of our evolution.
It was bipedal, but it was a...
It could have come off a different chain, sort of
thing. Was it a super gorilla or some shit?
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah. But no.
But yeah, that is the only, I think mammalian life, whichever way you want to look at it, is the only unique thing to this planet. Like, they obviously the Nibiru things like gold, and we do have an odd fascination with gold. There is something to the gold. Like, why are we fucking obsessed with it?
Well, I can tell you a little bit why we're obsessed with it, because it's funny. Since I first heard you say that, why we're obsessed with it, you made me think about it. I thought about it and thought down the train.
Interesting.
Well, see, part of the thing with gold is it's very inert.
Yes.
It doesn't change, whereas copper oxidates.
Yeah.
Gold doesn't.
Yeah,
oxidizes.
Oxidizes.
Exactly.
Steel rust, blah, blah, blah.
That's right. Gold's very stable in that regard, and because oxidization is the process of losing electrons.
Yes.
Gold doesn't lose electrons very easily, very readily.
Yeah.
Hence, it doesn't really oxidize.
Yeah.
So it's very stable in that regard.
Yeah.
It's but it's also got it's a good conductor.
Yes.
It's got
absolutely.
It's got these other properties to it as well. So it's not just the fact that it's purity.
Yeah.
It's got other uses and other qualities about it that other things don't have.
That's true.
And also, which could run into the alien side of things. I think gold's pretty rare. It's rare for us to have
so much on the planet.
So much on this planet. Yeah.
It's interesting.
We're
it's an interesting call. But the thing is, I do know that they've identified asteroids half the size of this planet that are just gold.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They're worth $10 bajillion, whatever much that.
Yeah, it's just getting to them. But see, from what I can work out, that in terms of the solar system, if you were to check the whole solar system for gold, apparently it's pretty rare.
Okay.
Within that space.
Okay.
Within the galaxy, it's fairly rare.
Yeah, right.
Because of the process by which it's formed.
It's interesting, the compression in the quartz and that sort of stuff.
It's something... I can't remember now, man. It's been too long, and I've been focusing on other endeavors.
Yeah.
I'm losing.
You dabbled down there, but the thoughts have become unnecessary.
Exactly. So it's been put in the cupboard,
and
I'm like, fuck, I'm digging.
The cupboard's like the cupboard from when you were a teenager. If you fucking touched it, it'd just fucking...
Oh, it's like your room from being a teenager. Yeah,
exactly.
It's it's fine, Mum.
Just put it in the cupboard.
If you clean it up, I won't know where anything is. You know where everything is. Yeah. It's a fucking organised chaos. And that is how to describe my brain. It's just organised fucking chaos.
But gold is interesting. I do know because I'm trying to draw mine because I worked in gold.
It's something about
years.
how it's formed in terms of not formed like on Earth, in like it's like how it came into creation.
Yeah, it was. I think a lot of the gold was extraterrestrial, but I do know.
No, as in formed in the universe.
Yes,
that's what makes it rare. The process by which molecules join to form gold. Is a process that needs to come from a fucking supernova or something like that. Something that's not a common thing.
It's not an everyday occurrence.
It's not everyday occurrence sort of thing. And,
yeah, right, okay.
And, you know, I'm using a lot of broad terms like someone's and described and stuff because I'm just...
You're trying to filter...
But it was what they were saying was it was important.
Yes.
You know, and it's rare.
Yeah.
So, and it's rare enough, it's found on high enough quantities on this planet...
For
that if it was valuable within the universe, we could possibly attract attention.
Within the galaxy.
Hence that story about the Nibiruans.
Well, the thing is, too, we have a weird... like, I'm not a gold wearer. Obviously, I grew up in Ballarat. That's a gold town. I worked up... When I was in PNG, that was gold. I was on the gold mine out west as well.
But we wear... Just to stop you for a second, we wear gold for the same reason. It doesn't oxidize and it doesn't tarnish. The acid from your skin won't change it.
Maintains its value.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas anything else, apart from platinum and silver,
or titanium, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but that's an alloy that we've created.
That's true.
Natural metals.
Yeah.
It's basically platinum and silver.
Yeah.
That are good to go. That everything else fucking corrodes in some way or another, or leaves you. You know. When they used to wear brass rings and stuff, like that's an alloy that we created. But
yeah, it's copper and bronze. Yeah.
But it still had negative qualities in terms of it's because of the copper part in the bronze. It oxidizes green. Yeah, turns your skin green.
Turns everything green. Yeah. It doesn't make you feel very well.
Yeah. I learned the hard way. I remember having some cheap necklace.
Yeah.
And it was like brass that had been silver plated.
Yeah, right.
And middle of summer in southeast Queensland.
Quality piece of jewelry.
Sweating up a storm.
Yeah.
And I just had like green sweat running down my chest from this cheap fucking necklace that I had.
Right. Yeah, come at me, girl.
Because my sweat was just reacting with the copper. But anyway, that was just a side point.
No, that's fine. No, I like it, man.
I probably made you lose your train of thought.
No, the gold thing, because I grew up in Ballarat, Southern Hills there, it's like a realistic gold mining town from the 1850s.
Yep.
I was a school kid there. Oh, geez, that was a bit close. Sorry about that, everyone. I was a school kid there. Did like a week there in primary school. Yeah, sorry, mate.
That's okay, mate.
But the point I'm getting to is I've seen gold bars poured.
Yep.
And there is something fucking hypnotic about it. Like, I don't like gold. I don't wear gold. I don't have anything that's gold. But watching that gold bar poured, there was like this little stirring. My precious.
My precious.
My precious.
Yeah.
Look at it. It's gold.
Yeah.
You know, there was something to that. Like, when I was working on the gold mine, one of the gold pumps, it was in the yard. Like, we didn't throw anything out because you could, just get parts off it. We just replaced the whole lot, put it in the boneyard, and then if you need to pilfer something, you could.
Yep.
No one had cleaned the gold pump out. Inside the gold pump was 250 grams worth of gold.
Yep.
And it was just sitting in the boneyard.
Yep.
The thing is, even if you were steel gold, it has a DNA signature. That's the other thing that's rare about gold, is that each gold, where the place that it comes from, has a separate DNA signature.
Yep.
So,
it's got a molecular structure or something like that that you can, because of its rarity, even on Earth, because it's only found in certain areas.
Yeah.
You can be like, well, there is 12 fucking prominent seams on Earth, and we know that one's come from there because it's composition.
Yeah. Well, I think you've got to log it like every time you find it as well. I think there's probably some. But yeah, the gold's interesting, man. Did the aliens come and mine the gold where we use the slaves to mine the gold? Look, fucking we've used slaves to mine gold, so, someone more powerful than us is going to,
Slaving seems to be in the fucking human condition.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we learnt that off someone. Or maybe,
Or maybe it's just what it is.
It's just a thing. It's just a thing we
and
realise.
And the other thing is, too, we live in this stupid world where we don't think that it's bloody alive and well today.
Yeah.
Like, it totally is.
Exactly.
It's not even a fucking question.
If you really want to delve down that train, aren't we all just slaves? Mm-hmm. It's just they moved our payment from, like, housing. Instead of giving us housing and giving us food, they just made us buy it.
Yeah.
And they give us money and they just then we buy our housing and we buy our food.
Yeah. We're just slaves to the plastic now instead of...
Isn't it all just the same thing? As long as there's one person, or not one, but as long as there's a small amount of people that really, through what they own, are the ones that pay all the people.
Yeah.
Well, they're the kings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've got the most gold in my fucking cellar, mate.
Yeah. Well, just because they don't live in a fucking castle anymore,
Yeah.
the system never really changed.
No.
From the feudal system.
No, it didn't.
It's just the king's fucking ivory towers got so high that we don't know who they are anymore.
Exactly. That's the thing, is it? Like, the Forbes lists the billionaires, but it doesn't list the trillionaires, because there's a few of those now.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
It's like there's levels to this shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And yeah, you're right. It's just the castle didn't change. I mean, that's the other thing too, is that democracy in its modern form has only been around for 100 years. It's not like it's a well-worn path. I mean, I know the Romans tried, but the Greeks tried. However, it was still, Caesar, hail Caesar, and
that's right. It's been turbulent, and it's just a bright, shiny period for democracy right now.
Yeah,
other forms of, like, well, it's funny how we call like military dictatorships.
Yeah,
that we call them that.
Yeah,
because that's how kingdoms were always won. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You come in with the bigger army, you fucking take over power.
Yeah.
You're now the king.
Yeah.
Why were they... We call them a dictator because it's like got negative connotations to it. In a way, the same system that we watch the movies that are meant to show us what our, like, medieval history was, it's the same fucking thing.
It's still the same thing. It's just we're a democracy with the bigger army. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like a military dictatorship,
yeah,
it's just the king with the army in the castle.
Yeah.
That's all. That's the same system that's always been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think, I always, because I hate meetings, like, the end, you worked on some projects, but we worked in different departments. You wouldn't have dealt with the endless meetings that I've had to deal with at times.
No.
And I'd just lose focus, start graffitiing, and then they'd ask me and I'd completely lose fucking train of thought. I think the ridiculous thing is postulations. But anyway, the Romans only ever used to have one meeting. They'd rock up to your fucking gate and say, join us or die.
Yep.
That's your fucking choices. That's what you've got.
Mm.
And fair percentage, the Roman Empire grew to be quite a large one. Fair percentage of those people did say that. Fair percentage didn't. But it's the same fucking thing. I'm seeing this weird connection from, like, maybe like the Middle East to Troy to Rome and to Greece to I think if there's an overarching system, it's all the way back, man. Like, it's not that the same elite that were back then, maybe are still remnants of what it is now, because they just adapt. They take their fucking golden fucking egg and they go somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's like the dirty secret of World War One is America was supplying both sides for most of it.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
Yeah, definitely. They were. Yeah.
Just making a buck, mate. You know what I mean?
That's it.
And the whole transfer of wealth moved from Europe when all the feudal states were basically...
Well, they all got collapsed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all got shut down.
Mm. So a lot of the sons, because the king sent their sons to war because it was some noble thing, but as you said, they rocked up on a fluffy horse with fucking red pants on, mate. It's like... Or blue pants on the red shirt,
Yeah.
No,
mechanised war really fucked with the royalty of Europe. Like, so many...
And all the money got transferred to the US. That was the transfer of power.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, I think the banking centre was London before the First World War. and then during the First World War, it transferred to the US.
Exactly.
Because of, like you say, the deals, the embargoes, everything that they were fucking wheeling and dealing in terms of trade. Yeah, they were playing both sides.
Give us everything. Yeah, you just give us everything, and we'll take over.
That's right.
You know,
and then all the rich families moved to New York. You know, apparently that's how.
Yeah, apparently,
that's how it all sort of went down.
But yeah, I mean, there's an indoctrinated system. I think, you know, a lot of the stuff we've explored is the narrative, man. If you open your eyes, there's a narrative that's at play, and we've actually watched it play out almost step by step this year. You know, this is what happens. This is what we're going to do. You know what I mean? Like, and as you know, the logistics of some of the stuff that happened this year was unbelievable. Like the plastic shields down at Woolies. Like, how did they form fit perfectly 2 weeks after it all came out? So hang on a minute. I'm in logistics. I know how much it fucking takes to produce that shit, to design it, to cut it, to fucking fold it. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't make it to Fernvale after 2 weeks.
Yeah. Some
backwater fucking Woolworths.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's crazy, man. But the overriding narrative is there. And maybe, look, if the aliens did come this year, it kind of makes sense. And why has more information come out about that over the last 18 months? You could put your tinfoil hat on and say maybe it's some sort of semi-preparation. Oh, UFOs are real.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got craft from somewhere else.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, the aliens came. Yeah, didn't you know? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We've been observing them for ages.
Yeah.
What do you know?
Well, that's when the Space Force fucking pulls up in their warp ships.
Yeah, we've been observing them for ages, but we can't fucking work out what they are. So we're going to start disseminating the information. Yeah, exactly. Maybe you guys can help us work it out.
Yeah. And maybe it's look, the thing is that we don't fucking know. It comes down to the whole thing. And I suppose with the December 21 is that I'm like 37. However, I've lived through a few end of the worlds, man.
Yeah.
Like
well, we had 2012.
We had 2000. Like that was one of the that was the prominent one. Like Y2K, well, that was going to fucking end everything, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what was pre-2000? Can you remember just from your own childhood experiences?
Well, there was the recession in the 90s. I remember that.
That was early 90s, wasn't 90s, it? I think. Yeah. Was that Australia or was it global?
It was a bit of both, I think.
Because I have no recollection. I remember it being Australian, but
it was definitely Australian. I don't have recollection that far back. It was definitely Australian though, because that was I remember being affected by that. I can't think of anything else, but
because I remember the prevalence of those shows back in the 90s. I remember like
Beyond 2000. Remember Beyond 2000?
Yeah, but I'm going a different direction. Remember the prediction shows, the Nostradamus shows.
True.
There was so many of those. There was such a high concentration of those end of the world predictions.
In the late 90s, I remember that.
I had to stop fucking watching them, man, because I was getting dude. I was like 15 and full of angst, and I'm like, the fucking point's in living, man. Fucking world's look at this show. They just keep telling us how all these prophets and shit have predicted the end of the world. You're like,
angst is actually a really good fucking term to describe being a teenager in the 90s. We were angsty, man.
Fucking
like if you open your ears and listen to some of the music we listened to back then, it was pretty fucking dark shit. You know what I mean? Like, not saying I still don't put it on rotation, but I'm just saying that we were angsty. I love
that fucking dark, depressed shit.
Yeah. We were angsty. I mean? Angsty is the word. But Y2K. Obviously 9/11, 2012, but it seems to be there's always been the fucking end is nigh.
Yes. There's always a fucking preacher on a soapbox somewhere saying that the end is nigh. So, could December 21 be another one of these ones? It could be.
Yeah.
But it's fucking,
It's a bit weird. There's some weirdness and there's some dots.
There's some weirdness, and does it hurt to get a little bit excited just wondering what could be in the anticipation of it?
No.
You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt. It's one of those things. It's like if one of these days, one of these things will happen, and it's always that little gamble. It's kind of like, I wonder if this will be the one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
right.
is this the one that's going to be right? Because they never are. So it's like, oh well, let's have a crack. It's fun. It's fun to like be like, oh, yep, there's the aliens. Fucking, what do we do now?
Yeah, but I think is almost an inherently Aussie thing as well. It's like, oh, you know, I should be right, mate. Like, fucking hell, like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to? Yeah,
like, if the aliens
100%.
are coming,
but I think the Tibetans were the fucking original Aussies, man, because
they just let it go.
Well, the Dalai Lama. Well, I think one of his thingos, you know, one of those fake quotes you see on motivational things you see on Facebook, where it's probably not written by him, but they put his face there,
yeah, exactly,
and you believe it.
Yeah,
it was something to do with if you can't control it, then why worry about it?
Exactly. Yeah,
it's like, yeah, they were the original Aussies, man. That's exactly. It's like,
fucking,
I can't fucking control it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know what they're going to do when they're going to make it mandatory to get a fucking flu jab. I don't know. Probably nothing. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm fucking honest, they're going to psychologically make me, if I want to disagree with that, they're going to make me feel, they're going to already have the propaganda out to make me feel like an outsider. So I'm probably then, you know, because we get herded very easily as people. So if you feel like a social out, that's how they control. That's part of their control mechanism.
That's true. But hey, if I look, I want to hope. I had a lot more hope in modern society before we fucking bought all the toilet paper. I did. That was very disappointing.
See, South Australia's at it.
Yep.
Right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clearing it out. Yeah.
Clearing out the toilet paper.
Yeah. Fucking.
Fuck me.
That's the level
Have
of
a shower, wash your bum in the shower. You know what I mean? That's done. Easy peasy, guys.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, that's the level of opulence we've got to, that the first thing we worry about is wiping our bum.
Yeah.
There's a very good analogy.
And that'll go down in history, man.
Yeah, the toilet paper.
That's how soft we've got.
Yes.
Yeah. We thought the world was coming to an end with the 2020 fucking pandemic.
So we bought all the dunny paper.
So we bought all the dunny paper because we're going to die with clean asses.
Yeah, exactly. My ass is going to be... But not really, because all dunny paper does is wipe shit into your ass.
It just smears it around. Hence why porn stars have to fucking bleach their asses. Because it's just shit smeared around for however old they are, 20 years old. Yeah. By then, it's discoloured their fucking bunghole. So they got to get it bleached out. Yeah. Well, I have asked the wife when we reno the toilet, can I get a bidet?
Yeah?
Yeah, just... because I just want to have a properly clean ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not just smeared with fucking paper.
Have you used a bidet?
I don't think I ever have.
I have once.
I'm not sure if I've even seen one in real life.
I've used one once. Where was I? I was in Indonesia.
Yep.
At this fucking fancy hotel.
Yeah.
And there was another toilet next to the toilet. And that fucking shot of water fucking thing up your asshole.
Yeah.
That's a bit much information.
That's, you know, I just wonder.
Yeah, I just need to experience these things. You know?
But, you know, like, honestly, smearing your ass with fucking shit, I don't know how we got this far and we're still doing that to clean our buttholes.
Well, we could always use the 3 seashells, man, but no one knows how to use the 3 seashells.
No one knows how to use the 3 fucking seashells. What do you do with that? Fuck. That was a good movie.
Demolition Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good movie, man.
Yeah.
And it still stands up, sort of. You can deal with it.
It was. Oh, that's right, because they got frozen.
Yeah.
It wasn't like post-apocalyptic.
That was
it was like
big in the 90s.
futuristic.
That was big in the 90s if you think about that. The cryo freeze. Everyone's going to be able to freeze themselves.
Yeah. I don't know how far that got.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it sort of died away. Like, I don't think.
Yeah, you'd need... See, the problem with fucking freezing yourself is like... Because ice is a larger molecular structure than water.
Yeah.
When you freeze something, a fleshy fucking organism, the cells in your skin...
Yeah, it would break down, you would think.
They explode because the moisture inside the cell fucking expands and it breaks the cell wall.
They were trying to figure out that they
you would have to
froze you in
and they would have to inject you with some
sort of serum
shit
to keep you fucking moving.
Yeah,
or keep your vital signs active. Yeah, I don't know how far they got with that, but yeah, that was Demolition Man. But look, man, I'd be surprised with the the vaccine, I'm hoping that a fair percentage of the population says, hey, fuck off.
Well, what will be...
And see, and what, because you were talking about the propaganda.
Yeah.
What is their reaction then? Right? It's like, okay, we've lived through this shit. All the people we know, businesses have gone broke. Like, but this has been a bit rough. Everyone's still here. We don't know anyone who knows anyone. And you want us to get something for something? Like, I don't fucking think so.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You know, we've all had the flu. We've all had a cold. We've all, you know what I mean? Like this.
You know how I think they're going to do it too. How they're going to try and push it onto you and me. Is they will mandate it through companies.
Yeah, absolutely.
To keep your employment.
Exactly. And the thing is, we both are subsidiaries of government-funded.
That's right.
Stuff. So it's like, if you want to continue to work for us, you must.
You must get this jab.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they will mandate it in that way, and then we'll go...
Get the nanotrites, mate.
Then we'll all go, oh, well... we just keep going on the roller coaster of control.
Yeah. But that begs the question, because it's like, I've had a few people ask, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? It's like, whoever it is, whoever leads us, whichever section, faction, whatever the fuck it is, right? Lizard people from underground. Whatever ism.
Yeah.
You know, if it's the lizard people from 130 million years ago, whatever, right? They fear the day when we all stand as one.
Yeah.
End of story, right? Reality is we outnumber whoever that is by a fuckload, right?
Yeah.
However, I think the pandemic has woken more people up, has accelerated the... Not wokeness. I fucking hate that shit. But you know what I mean? I don't like using awake, but it's like aware maybe.
It's a different type of woke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More people have become aware of the fucking bullshit this year, I think, than in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
However, as we've discussed so many times, without an existential crisis, like a real fucking existential crisis, because obviously this one was the start of one, and then it didn't really... and everyone's sort of going, it's a bit fucking bullshit, right? We won't fucking learn, you know what I mean? So it's like, because that's what'll happen. The vaccine could be one of those things that makes us stand as one, but in order to continue down the fucking rabbit hole, like just to make sure you got a roof over your head, you'll just fucking do it anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Do the here's a different one. Do the aliens need to come? Probably. Like, it's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, well, the kids are starting to play up in the sandpit. We might need Space Daddy to come fucking lay the law down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're on the brink of really fucking themselves. Yeah. We should probably step in.
Yeah, the little one's about to get hurt.
Yeah.
So before someone loses an eye, we're going to shut this shit down.
Yeah. Because look, I mean, the reality is...
Well, sorry to interrupt.
You're right.
But it's just, this is where we're at, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're basically at that point where everyone is like, this fucking thing sucks.
Yeah.
This fucking thing sucks.
Yeah.
This system.
It's not good. It's broken.
It's fucked.
Yeah.
But.
What else have we got?
But we don't know.
Yeah.
We want Space Daddy to fucking push us into a new, lay out a new system because we don't know how to do any better.
Exactly.
Like you like to fucking quote Churchill all the time.
Yeah. Democracy is the best form of governance apart from everything else. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's for fucking better the devil you know. We don't know any better. Yeah. So who knows? Maybe fucking just a Space Daddy with a higher intelligence might be what we need. That might be great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking mate. Compared to the political parties we've got to vote for,
I
might fucking go advanced civilization. If it's Liberal, Labor, and advanced civilization,
you're going to go advanced.
I'm going to vote.
Absolutely.
I'm going to vote for them. Absolutely. You know why? Because fuck it, these cunts have done nothing.
Yeah, exactly. You know? They've spent the last 20 years selling us out.
That's it.
That's all the fuck they've done.
We may as well try the fucking advanced civilization.
Yeah. We'll bet on the aliens. Yeah.
What do we got? We've got possibly a chance for a better organisational structure for humankind.
Yeah, if they've organised themselves to arrive here in a craft, they obviously know a bit about a bit. You know what I mean?
Or total annihilation. or slavery. You know, like they're either going to come to conquer us or come to help us.
Exactly. Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah.
Probably a higher probability that it's conquering, but you'd never know.
You never know.
You never fucking
Chuck
know.
your hat in the ring, mate.
Chuck your hat in the ring. It's still better than Liberal or Labor.
Exactly.
It's still better than fucking the option they give us to vote for.
Yeah.
The bullshit.
Oh, the bullshit.
The bullshit popularity contest that means fuck all.
Nothing that no one cares about.
No one fucking cares because it's a shit system. Everyone's trying to just do the fadeaway. Remember when like someone shit would like bring up a fucking bad topic in the group of at school?
Yeah.
And like the polite thing to do, you don't call them out on it. You
Yeah.
just fade away.
Just fade away.
You just fade away, and before you know, it's only that one guy and his best mate still fucking talking. The group's just gone.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, well, that went south real quick.
Yeah.
But no one ever pulls them up. You just fade away. That's what people are doing with the system.
Yeah.
People are like becoming disengaged and just fading away off the system. Like, oh,
And the
someday
thing
it'll
is to,
get better.
like, obviously,
Obviously, no one's got a fucking better idea.
No one fucking knows anything, mate. I think that's one of the keys. No one knows anything. And I love how at the moment it's like, oh, we got rid of Trump. Here's the savior. Do you remember why you voted for Trump in the first place?
Yeah, because of the fucking
Because of the system.
the career politicians that you've
this
just
dude has
voted
been
back
in for fucking 48 years and done nothing but terrible things.
That's it.
I'm not saying the orange-haired lunatic is any better option. However, are you fucking serious? Like, you can't be that naive.
Definitely.
And whatever savior complex you have at the moment is going to end in a rapid fashion. You know, because the thing is, we are witnessing the fall of Western society.
Yeah.
It is teetering, and it's on the way down the cliff.
Yeah,
It started to fucking
I wouldn't
roll.
say it's fucking teetering.
Yeah,
I would definitely say it's crumbling.
It's crumbling, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over, man. It's just we're just gonna have the death throes for the next fucking however long.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is that how do they make money? How did they make all the money? Guns.
That's right.
And ammo. And if you don't think that they're gonna try and fucking make us kill each other again,
Yeah.
that's exactly what, because that's the other existential threat. Oh well, fucking we better go to war because they fucking crossed our imaginary line. Those cunts, right? They look the same as us. They are the same as us. It's all just one big blue ball fucking hurtling through space. But fuck them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Fuck them. We want the power.
Yeah.
Not them.
Yeah.
We don't want them to have it.
Yeah.
We want it.
Yeah. So we got to kill them again. You know, like that. That's my concern. Like,
Yeah. Well, and when you consider the, it's normally the, consider a bullying situation in the playground.
yeah,
It's not normally the more powerful new guy that's the bully. He'll just impose his will.
Yeah.
It's the one who's got more to lose that always strikes first.
Absolutely.
Because they're like, no, fuck you, don't take my power.
that's right.
The other one will just, like China's doing now, they'll just take advantage of your bad times.
Yeah.
And they'll just grow.
Yeah.
And they'll just work out. And they'll get a bit musclier and a bit bigger. And they'll take that away. And they'll take that away. And then without you knowing it,
Geez, we let Hong Kong go easily. I thought about that the other day.
Hong Kong, yep, exactly. That is a great example of how good the propaganda train is from the fucking CCP. Right there is how quickly Hong Kong faded away.
Yeah.
Because they controlled that fucking narrative and it all went away.
Yep. Hong Kong's now China.
It was like a week.
I went on for a few months, but it faded quickly.
No, but the big
hype.
explosion,
Yeah.
boom, a week. And then there was only like a couple of hanger-oners still covering it later on, sort of thing. Like, well, when I say hanger-oners, the ones who are really probably new.
Yeah.
The rest were only there for the clicks.
And the other thing is, too, that you have to think about what percentage of our politicians, our major politicians in Canberra, what percentage of the money that they have in the bank is fucking Chinese. There'd be a percentage, man.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Like, it would definitely, like, yeah, when I got the job, I was only making 80 grand a year, but I've retired now and I'm worth 150 million. What? We don't.
There's been fucking So many handshakes, man.
Yeah,
So many handshakes.
So many, man. Yeah,
So many.
like and
The fucking Chinese are very smart business people.
absolutely,
They have got themselves into this position through a fucking very long game that they've played. And they fucking snuck up out of nowhere.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, to the common person, it was within my lifetime that we went from shitting on their products to only buying their products.
Exactly.
You know, as a child, it was always not that Chinese shit.
Exactly.
And then in fucking 20 years, flipped it on its head.
Everything.
They opened up their borders a little bit. They allowed Westerners to fucking take their manufacturing there. And then the quality improved.
Yeah. Quality control.
And in we came. Fucking flooded, mate. We have thrown our money over the last 10 years.
Every major company into fucking China. Pretty much.
Since internet fucking buying really became popular in the last 10 years. Imagine the amount of money everyone in the world has thrown at China.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Because everything I buy online comes from China.
Well, I was just thinking, if I look around this room, there's a fair percentage of this room that comes from China.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
The whole world has just been throwing money at China.
Yeah, because we like money, man. We like money.
Well, we like money, but we like to spend. We like to get bang for our buck.
Yeah, exactly.
And we have just fallen into this fucking face first into this just consuming shit, consuming absolute shit that breaks really quickly.
Yeah.
You know, just a subpar, produced very quickly. Sort of products, but we were happy because we wanted all the products at a cheaper price.
Absolutely,
because we were just so we got so stingy.
Yeah. But I mean, the profits that these guys are making is also unbelievable. It's like, we dropped the price to 800. It used to be 1,000. Only costs us about 60 to make it, but
100%, man.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly right. Yeah, fucking oath.
Because
every set of hands it goes through,
slaves made this.
Yes, every set
slaves
of
made your smartphone. Slaves made my smartphone.
Every set of hands a product goes through, from manufacture to sale, that person needs to make 100% profit.
Yeah.
So
by the time you get to the other end,
that's right. They're all making 100% profit along their way, if not more. Minimum 100% profit.
More.
Yeah. Everyone, some people are probably making 500%.
Absolutely.
1,500%
Absolutely.
profit.
Depending on which end of the scale you're on.
That's
mate.
right. Exactly.
Depends on which end of the scale you're on. Oh, I used to work at Repco, man. And some of the stuff that Repco used to stand for rip every poor cunt off. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
And I used to give just general people trade discount.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because I felt so bad charging them what they wanted me to charge them. I just give them trade discount.
Yeah, recommended retail price was just ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not doing that to someone.
No.
But we did fall face first into it, and it is we are a victim of our own creation.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Western democracy, their lust for money and their greed and their supposed power, they've just slowly been giving it away, man. They've just slowly been giving it away.
Yep. Because the common person, us poor commoners, we made the Chinese products popular.
Absolutely.
So then those classes started giving their money away. The classes above us started giving China their money because they're like, oh, these people like their products. Maybe we'll get some products. And some of the smart ones invested in there, and they bought out, manufacturing companies and everything there themselves.
Yeah.
So they've made money, but they've injected money. All the while they've been injecting money into the Chinese economy. Even if they're pulling money out of it.
The Chinese Communist Party, like seriously, we look past that one as well. Yeah, man. And the thing is that
No, look, fuck, man. As accountants, they have fucking played the game well.
Oh yeah.
They've played the game well, and they're in front. And everyone owes them.
And they've ringed Australia. What they did around Australia was unbelievable. So they go to all the Pacific Islands. It's like, do you guys want $1 trillion?
Well, look, maybe this is the system we go into. We were talking before about no one's ever had a fucking solution. Well, maybe the fucking Chinese have just, proven to enough people that, hey, our way's better. Yeah, those guys have to suffer a bit more. But after 25 years, they won't remember.
That's the long game.
You know what I mean?
That's the long
game,
dude.
After X amount of time,
That's
if
the
you
long
make
game.
someone poor enough, if you make you and me change our lifestyle for a long enough time that we bring our kids up remembering the old days, we die off, our kids fucking never knew.
Yeah.
So, and that's the old ignorance is bliss.
Mm-hmm.
You only know what you know.
Exactly. What you know in this moment.
So if you never knew the opulence of the old world where everyone in Australia had fucking 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and a 4-car garage, if you never knew that,
it didn't exist,
you just thought everyone always lived in fucking cottages, you know, 1-bedroom cottages, and everyone just slept on the floor. That's how you. It doesn't take. It only takes one generation to erase that memory.
If you're just saying that though, that was the norm 120 years ago anyway.
That's right. Exactly.
You know what you're saying there.
Yep. The old Queenslanders.
Yeah, 1-bedroom cottage.
1-bedroom, 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
The detached toilet, detached kitchen.
Uh-huh.
The kitchen usually wasn't attached to the house either.
Right.
Yeah.
That wasn't that long ago either.
That was our grandparents.
Uh-huh.
And their parents. You know, our probably in the thick of it was our great-grandparents.
Yeah.
They were in the full fucking swing of it.
Yeah.
Our grandparents started to come, they were on the tail end of it because then our parents all moved into better houses.
Yeah, it's fascinating, man, how fast it changes. I mean, and the, you know, I know we've spoken about like our, you know, guys of our generation, our age, you know, men and women. We grew up handwriting letters. We grew up fucking...
Yeah.
With pen pals and rotary telephones and fucking all that shit. You know, we've seen the entire gamut and how fast it has accelerated. You know, and it could be, I think there is a fucking, some sort of global control or agenda or something, you know what I mean? Or no one fucking knows what's going on and everyone's just fucking doing what they do.
Imagine if the world is how they tell us it is.
Yeah. I've thought about that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
imagine that. We think of all these theories all the time, but imagine just for a minute that it is how they tell us it is.
Yeah.
It's just, the Australian government just does fucking trade deals with other governments and they talk to companies and we buy their products and that's all it is.
That's all
it is,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
No one's actually steering anything.
No.
This is just the clusterfuck of humanity.
Yeah.
Just stumbling the fuck along.
Clusterfuck of humanity. Yeah, it was. Yeah, and this is the thing. They were just making more money, so they took, you know, bonds and all the classic Aussie brands fucking overseas. You know. Yeah. Who knows, man? I think the thing is that, especially with the coronavirus and a few experiences I've had lately, it's like. It is a bit like what you said before. If you can't control it, why worry about it?
Yeah.
Like, should you...
In the end, I'll survive or I'll die.
Yeah.
It's the only 2 fucking options that I've got. Mm-hmm. Me and the people I know will survive or will die.
Uh-huh.
That's it. That's the only...
And that's like a soldier's perspective, man. It's like, you know, that's how it shakes out, man.
Yeah.
End of the game. It's either the game keeps going, or it's the end of the game.
Yeah, one of the 2.
Yeah,
that's if you break it down to brass tacks, that's all there is. What kind of control and oppression and everything comes into that survival? Who knows?
Yeah,
who knows?
Who knows exactly? You know, and, well, mate, I don't know. I think this one's coming to an end. That was fun, man. I don't know even what are we going to call this because there's no intro to it.
There's no intro. It's just a fucking. It's just a conversation, mate. I don't know.
It's just a conversation.
It's just a conversation.
It's just a conversation. That's exactly what it's going to be.
It's just bits and pieces of what pops into your brain.
Yeah,
it's plucking from the ether at the time.
Yeah. And I think we will end again with Jono's awesome rendition.
Of course we will.
Like I think we need to play that.
It's a celebration.
It is a celebration. It was just, and look, I think that this conversation was very pure, man. We went everywhere. However, I had a good time, man. This was really cool. Thanks to Jono, Craig Johnston Music, He's on Facebook. Give him a like. Give him a follow. He deserves it. You know what
Is
I
he
mean?
on Insta?
Yeah, I think he is on Insta.
Look him up.
I'll tag him. I'll message him, and when I publish this, I'll tag him. I'll make sure it's all in the show notes. Well, mate, another fun one. Yeah. Have you got anything else? Do you want to do a Warrior book?
Oh, where is it? Is it
just,
close?
No, just there, mate. To your left arm, right there on the shelf.
The shelf?
Other shelf.
That shelf.
See the 3 in the middle there? Can you reach it?
No.
Oh, no.
No, I cannot.
Oh, well, we're in the rabbit hole now. We're going to do it. Which one are you going to pick?
This one? Oh, this one.
Yeah, you pick it.
This one. Warrior lifestyle, mate.
Warrior lifestyle? Warrior lifestyle.
I'm just going to go for it.
Just going to go for it? Bang. What do you got for us?
Courage is resistance to fear. Mastery of fear. Never be afraid to attack wrong. I think it's just answered that question.
It's just answered that question, man.
Will we go quietly into the night?
No, we won't. That one.
Nay.
No.
Nay, sir. I will not go quietly into the night.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the Sparta thing? Drop your swords. Come and get them.
Come and get them.
Yeah, they're right here. Come and get them.
Before this day is over, you will know that a few stood against many, and even a god king can bleed.
Those books, man, that actually gave me the shivers that time. Like, how the fuck did...
They do it every time, man.
Every time,
They're
man.
always on the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like your horoscope. It's always on the money.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. Thanks very much.
Cue the phone, brother. Let's play this.
Okay, we'll put it through the phone, actually. Let's do that. It won't be as good as the originally... At the start, I'll actually put the proper file, but I'm going to play it through the phone to end. Here we go. Let's go. Let's rock it out, man. Wow. Just wow. Could you imagine that was going to be the intro of this fucking podcast 116 episodes ago, dude?